My neighbor spent 3 summers building the most beautiful backyard I had ever seen. Stone patio, string lights, a pergola he built himself, over 2 weekends. And every single evening from May through September, he ate dinner inside. Because the moment he stepped out after dark, the mosquitoes came. All of that work, all of that money, all of that vision, and he couldn't use it. That ends today. I'm covering 10 of the most powerful mosquito-repelling plants you can grow, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to use each one for maximum effect in your outdoor space. Stay with me through number 7, because that one was tested by researchers at a major university, and it outperformed DEET in published scientific studies. Not matched it, outperformed it. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now because we post new content every week and you do not want to miss what's coming. Let's build your force field. Plant 1, lavender. There is no better place to start than lavender, and not for the reason most people think. Most gardeners grow lavender for the look, the silver-purple stems, the way it moves in a summer breeze. What they don't realize is that the same quality that makes lavender smell extraordinary to us makes it absolutely unbearable to mosquitoes. Lavender contains a compound called linalool. To us, it's calming, clean, and slightly floral. To a mosquito, it's a direct assault on the sensory system they depend on to find you. Mosquitoes hunt by smell. They track your carbon dioxide, your body heat, the lactic acid on your skin. Linalool interferes with the olfactory receptors they use to follow that trail. When it's in the air around you, they can't lock onto your signal. They get disoriented. They leave. Plant lavender along pathways where people brush against it naturally, near outdoor seating, beneath windows and doorways. Every time someone walks past and grazes the foliage, the oils release into the air and the protective effect intensifies. Crush the flowers between your fingers and rub them directly on exposed skin for immediate personal protection. Full sun, well-drained soil, minimal watering once established. Think of it as a fragrant purple perimeter around your outdoor life that smells like paradise to you and sends a clear warning signal to every mosquito within range. Plant 2, lemongrass. You already know the word, citronellal. You've burned the candles. You know the smell. Here is what the candle companies are not telling you. The candle is a pale, watered-down imitation of the real thing. Cymbopogon citratus, lemongrass, is the original source of citronellal oil, and growing it in your garden delivers that compound at concentrations no candle can touch. The plant releases citronellal, geraniol, and citronellal continuously and passively. No flame required. Just a living, breathing diffuser operating all day, every day, for the entire growing season. Multiple civilizations across ancient Egypt, India, and Southeast Asia, with no connection to each other, independently arrived at the same conclusion over thousands of years. This plant keeps insects away. Modern research confirmed exactly why. Geraniol has demonstrated protection times against Aedes mosquitoes of up to 2.5 hours in clinical trials, competitive with low-concentration DEET formulations. Plant lemongrass at the perimeter of your outdoor space. It grows up to 4 feet in a single season, making it one of the most visually striking border plants you can choose. In cooler climates, grow it in large containers and bring it inside before the first frost. The original mosquito candle, except it never burns out and works better than anything you can buy in a store. Plant 3, basil. Here is something most people never learn about their herb garden. Basil, the same plant you strip for pesto and caprese, is also one of the most effective mosquito-repelling plants you can keep near your outdoor living space. What makes basil different from almost every other plant on this list is that it emits its protective compounds continuously and passively. Eugenol, linalool, and methyl chavicol disperse into the surrounding air constantly, creating a scent field that mosquitoes actively avoid. And research has shown that basil oil is toxic to mosquito larvae, not just repellent to adults. If you have a bird bath or water feature nearby, basil is disrupting the breeding cycle. At the source, place potted basil directly on your outdoor dining table, along railings, beside the grill. Every time you pinch leaves for cooking, you trigger a fresh burst of oils right where you need them most. The only mosquito solution that also improves your pasta. Plant 4. Rosemary. Rosemary came from somewhere wild before it came from your kitchen. In its native Mediterranean coastal habitat, it developed a formidable chemical arsenal entirely on its own. Camphor, alpha-pinene, and 1008-cineol, compounds that evaporate easily into surrounding air and create a scent field mosquitoes find disorienting and overwhelming. Ancient Romans planted rosemary near doorways and gathering areas specifically because they observed it deterred insects. That wasn't superstition. That was centuries of careful observation producing a reliable answer. Modern research confirms significant deterrent activity against both Aedes aegypti and Culex species. Best tip for outdoor gatherings: lay fresh rosemary sprigs directly on hot coals before guests arrive. The heat vaporizes the oils into smoke that drifts across your entire seating area. It smells like a gourmet wood fire, and it works. Your guests will ask what that amazing smell is. You will just smile. Plant 5. Marigolds. Most people look at marigolds and see a cheerful filler flower. Good for a pop of orange at the border, nothing more. That is a significant underestimation. Tagetes species have been used as companion plants across Mexico and Central America since pre-Columbian times. The foliage and root system produce compounds called thiophene that are chemically hostile to mosquitoes and a range of other insects. Published research has confirmed larvicidal effects. You are not just adding color to a border, you are building a chemical boundary. Plant marigolds densely around the perimeter of your patio, along fences and garden borders. They bloom from late spring through the first hard frost. They cost almost nothing, and they attract parasitic wasps and hoverflies that prey on a wide range of garden pest species. A cheerful, no-nonsense security guard who looks great on the job and never asks for a day off. Plant 6. Peppermint. The menthol and menthone compounds in peppermint overwhelm mosquitoes' sensory receptors, making it nearly impossible for them to function normally around high concentrations of the plant. Research found complete repellency, 100%, against certain species in controlled conditions. That is an extraordinary result for a plant that costs a few dollars and grows in a pot on a windowsill. Crush a leaf and rub it on your skin. Protection within seconds. Immediate, completely natural, smells incredible. Containers only. Peppermint will take over any open garden bed with a relentlessness that borders on supernatural. In a large pot on the patio, it is gorgeous and completely manageable. Bonus: if a mosquito bites you anyway, crush a few leaves and press them on the bite. Immediate itch relief. The plant that works on offense and defense at the same time. Plant 7. Catnip. And here is the one I promised you. In 2001, researchers at Iowa State University found that nepetalactone, the active compound in catnip, the same compound that makes cats roll around ecstatically, repelled mosquitoes approximately 10 times more effectively than DEET at equal concentrations. 10 times! DEET has been the gold standard of mosquito repellent for nearly 80 years. Catnip beat it by a factor of 10 in published, peer-reviewed, and widely cited research. A plant you can buy for a few dollars, grow in a container, and propagate indefinitely, outperforming the synthetic chemical the industry has been selling you for generations. Grow it in containers, placed near seating and pathways. Crush the leaves and rub on skin for direct protection. If you have cats, grow it in an elevated container they can't reach. If you don't have cats, you have no excuses. This plant belongs in your garden. Plant 8. Lemon balm. Lemon balm is one of those plants that seems too good to be true. Easy to grow, nearly impossible to kill. Makes a delicious, calming tea, and repels mosquitoes with the same compound family behind citronellal grass, citronellal, in a gentler, skin-friendly form. A study examining lemon balm essential oil found repellency rates against mosquitoes exceeding 97% in controlled laboratory conditions. The fresh plant releases these compounds constantly, but crushing the foliage triggers a much more intense release. Rub a handful of leaves directly on exposed skin before heading outside. That is your natural, completely non-toxic personal barrier. One important growing note: lemon balm spreads aggressively. Grow it in containers near seating areas and doorways where you will brush past it regularly. That incidental contact keeps the repellent effect active throughout your time outdoors. A plant that protects your outdoor space, calms your nervous system, and costs almost nothing to maintain. Plant 9. Sage. Sage has been burned in ceremonies across dozens of cultures for thousands of years. There has always been a deeply practical reason underneath the ritual one. Burning sage produces smoke that drives insects away. The aromatic compounds in sage, camphor, cineol, and thujone, are potent natural insect deterrents both in their fresh form and especially when burned. The smoke carries these compounds outward in a spreading cloud that mosquitoes find completely intolerable. Common garden sage is hardy across a wide range of climates, loves full sun, and becomes more aromatic and potent in hot, dry conditions, exactly when you need it most. Grow it in your garden for its beauty. It produces stunning purple flower spikes that pollinators love. Then toss generous handfuls onto your fire pit before outdoor gatherings. The smoke smells extraordinary, herbal, earthy, warm, and it will clear your seating area of mosquitoes faster than almost anything else on this list. Plant 10. Alliums. The allium family, garlic, onions, chives, ornamental alliums, shares one defining compound: allicin, the sulfur-based chemical responsible for that unmistakable, pungent smell, the one that makes your eyes water cutting a raw onion. That smell is, to mosquitoes and a wide range of other insects, one of the most powerful deterrents in the natural world. Allicin is not just repellent, it is actively toxic to many insects at sufficient concentrations, disrupting enzyme function in insect bodies and making allium plants chemically hostile territory. Gardeners who interplant alliums throughout their vegetable gardens have known for generations that it dramatically reduces pest pressure across the entire bed. Plant chives around your patio edges. They are perennial, produce beautiful purple flowers that attract pollinators, and grow happily in containers with minimal care. Plant ornamental alliums in generous clusters throughout your borders for visual drama and ground-level protection. And here is the most powerful allium tip on this list. Crush several garlic cloves, steep them in water for 24 hours, strain, add a small amount of liquid soap, and put it in a spray bottle. Spray the perimeter of your seating area and around garden beds. The resulting scent barrier lasts several days. Completely non-toxic. Made from something already in your kitchen. Costs you nothing. Building your 3-zone system. Think of your outdoor space in 3 layers. The outer perimeter, lemongrass along fence lines, marigolds in dense borders, alliums planted at garden edges. The first line of defense. A scent boundary that discourages mosquitoes from approaching. The middle zone. Lavender in sunny beds, rosemary along pathways, sage in the borders. No scent-neutral corridor for mosquitoes to navigate through. The immediate zone. Basil on the table, peppermint in containers flanking seating, catnip in elevated planters, lemon balm near the loungers. The plants you brush against as you move, releasing active oils right where and when you need them most. When you light the fire in the evening, throw rosemary and sage onto the coals. Let the smoke drift. The scent is extraordinary. The effect is real. Plant this layered system. Eliminate standing water anywhere in your yard. Mosquitoes breed in as little as a bottle cap of still water. Do those two things together, and your outdoor space becomes somewhere you can actually sit at dusk in summer and enjoy it. That is the goal. You now have everything you need. Hit the like button if this gave you value. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop a comment below. Which plant are you starting with? I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.